Underrated places to meet women.
Underrated.
Library. Starbucks.
That thing is always packed.
Starbucks is great. Do some work at Starbucks or a cafe.
Or any trendy cafes for that matter. Just
cafe.
any that isn't Starbucks or like Pasión de Cielo or something.
So that question, basically, what that tells me is the person's going, I have to go to the right place to meet the right girl. Where do I go? The reality is like all the women I wrote about in my book, those great love stories I've had, it's like it always happens when you're not expecting it. And it doesn't mean you're not thinking, God, I want to meet somebody, or I want to have a new girlfriend, or I want a relationship, or I want to find the person I'm going to spend my life with, or whatever it happens to be. It's that you kind of aren't attached to it, and you love your life. You love what you do socially. You do things for fun. So what I've always told people is that it's really a side effect of having a great life, a great social life that you're proud of. Because if you don't love being alone, and you don't enjoy your time alone, you can't have fun by yourself, it's like you're not going to have fun. You're not going to be good company. If you're not excited about your life, how are you going to get a girl excited about it? And so you got to get to a place where you're just having a blast. Because when you're having a blast, you can be walking down the street at the beach or at the mall somewhere, or just walking down the sidewalk to go to a cafe or something, and then make eye contact with a girl, and you guys just start eye-fucking each other. And it's obvious that something's there. It's like she noticed you because of the vibe, the energy that you're giving off, and vice versa. And those things are like easy and effortless when it happens. If you're walking around with a scowl on your face and you're pissed off, kind of like the guys who are in the red pill community always tend to be pissed off at women, women are going to avoid you like the plague because you don't feel safe to be around. You seem like an angry, unhappy dude who's mad all the time and mad at everybody, mad and pissed off at the world. And so it's really about the vibe that you're giving off and how you feel about yourself, what you do for fun, what you do socially. So it could be at the yacht club, it could be at the country club, it could be at the beach, it could be when you're standing in line at a movie theater with your friends and you're all just hanging out, laughing, telling some good jokes, and you're not really even paying attention. Next thing you know, you turn around, there's 4 really cute girls behind you that, you guys seem to be the only ones there having a good time. And since you're laughing and you're feeling good, they're already attracted to you. And then it's just, hey, what are you girls up to? What are you here to see? And then you end up finding out, oh, they're going to see the same. Well, hey, we should all sit together.
But what if you don't have a social life like that? Like you barely have friends to even go out.
Go out by yourself.
Exactly. So I think that's what the question's about. Like, where should he go by himself? Where like maybe don't like go into it saying like, okay, I'm gonna look around and be what's it called, scouting for women.
Yeah,
but just go there to enjoy
the thirsty look.
Yeah, the thirsty look. Like just go there for like the coffee, like we said, like,
or even focus on yourself. Go to the gym. Start to become happy with like who you are and content with yourself. And then once
take yourself to lunch, take yourself to dinner. You got to enjoy your own company.
Exactly.
You could be at like, I used to travel a lot back in the day and used to do a lot of seminars and stuff like that. I met a lot of women. My English girlfriend, I met her at a Tony Robbins seminar just because I was there having a good time. I wasn't expecting, I was open to meeting somebody, but I was there to have a good time. I didn't know anybody in there when I joined, and I met dozens of friends. One of my best friends I hung out with today for lunch, I met there, and we just clicked right away. And so you could be traveling and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go down to the hotel bar and have a drink or two before dinner.
Yeah.
Then you go sit at the hotel bar, and then you got a beautiful woman that comes up, sits next to you, and she has a glass of wine, and you just start talking. That's how it happens. Maybe you're shooting a shit with the bartender and laughing and joking, and she comes over and sits next to you because you're laughing and joking and not really paying attention to anybody. And then you got a bunch of weird people at the bar, kind of staring at her as she comes in, and then she's going to sit down next to the guy that's not even paying attention to her because he's giving off the vibe of like non-hungry, like he already has enough in his life. Maybe he's married or has a girl, or he doesn't really care. He's just enjoying himself. Yeah. And so women are attracted to that energy. They feel safe in it.
Or like if you work remotely, just work like bring your laptop and go somewhere, sit down, lose yourself, and then you'll see someone look at you and be like, hey, what are you working on?
I feel like a lot of people underestimate the power of meeting someone organically. So when it's forced, obviously it's not going to work out most of the time. But from my experience, I met someone that I'm currently dating through a mutual friend. So you never know when things can happen, but then you always hear those stories where it's like, oh, you're getting set up by a friend and those usually don't last or won't work, but sometimes you never know unless you take the chance. And like I said, like meeting someone organically, a lot of people underestimate that.
Well, most people, especially you guys' generation, is like everybody's on their cell devices all the time and they don't really interact with it. You just go to a restaurant and like half the people in there aren't even talking to each other. They're just looking at their phones.
Yeah.
When I used to live in South Beach, we had our own private beach there, and then you had the public beach was kind of in front of it. And I would see groups of college kids, like 10, 12 of them, they got booze and food and stuff. But it's like half the time at the beach, they're all trying to get the perfect Instagram shot, and they're not really just enjoying being at the beach and the beautiful scenery. They're all, getting their faces straight. Oh, I need to take a picture for my account too. And so half the time they're trying to make videos and Instagram pictures to present to the world what a great, awesome life they're having versus just hanging out at the beach. And that thing was great about that is that all the tables and the chairs and stuff are all set next to each other, and you just end up shooting the shit with the people next to you. They're hanging out, having a few drinks, eating some food at the beach. You're doing the same thing. You live in the same building. It's so easy to meet people that way.
It's like me and soccer player. Like I'm always at the pool tanning, and that's where I met him, at the pool tanning. And he lives in my building too, so it's like just me enjoying my time, my own space, getting a nice vitamins, and I just met a cool friend.
He said, "Hey, girl."
Yeah.
Was he hitting on you at first?
Yeah. I actually went over to him and his friends.
Oh.
I was there to
you were hitting on him.
No, I was there to make friends with the girls, because I don't have that many girlfriends. So I saw a group of girls with a group of guys, and I went over and I was like, hey. And then I was dating actually football.
Football boy?
Football
So
boy
you went from
at the
football
time.
to soccer boy.
Yeah. I was dating football, so I wasn't even looking at the guys. I was just looking at the girls. And ever since that day, like, we kind of rekindled. Months later, though, obviously, but that's how we met.
So you saw him at the pool again by himself one day?
No, I saw him at my place because he was talking to a girl who was my roommate's friend at the time, and they came in my apartment to get booze, and I was there with football player, and I guess, I don't remember this, but he told me this story. And he's like, I saw you walking him out, and I thought you were the prettiest girl ever. I was like, he was like, what are you doing with that ugly guy? And I was like, oh, I don't remember at all. So that was the second time meeting him.
Next time I see him, I'm going to slip him a copy of the book. Because it's obvious that he digs you. That he doesn't know how to go from friend to friend with benefits or dating. And you've kind of already made your mind up about him.
And then the third time, I was the one that messaged him because I guess he followed me on Instagram. And me and my friends were having a bachelor night. So just bring a random guy and we're all going to go out with a random guy.
I love that.
So I was like, I don't really want to go out with a random guy. I want to go out with a guy that I already met. So I DM'd him. I was like, do you want to be a bachelor tonight? But he was out of town for soccer, so he couldn't. And we started talking ever since that day. But,
and you're still waiting for him to step up and be a man.
And we're just
potentially
taking it day by day, you know?
I once met a couple at a bar in Orlando one time, but that was because what happened was I was seeing my best friend.
Was that one of the threesomes?
No, threesome, no. I was just there with my best friend and another friend of ours.
Open relationship.
No. It was just an organic thing where I just saw that she was wearing a concert shirt of a concert I went to. Was I don't know if anyone has been to this one, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, and Green Day, Hella Mega Tour, and I saw that shirt, recognized it because I had the same shirt, and we just started talking about concerts, and bam, we just clicked, and, my friend joined in on the conversations and everything because he went with me for that concert, so I just made a friend there. It's stuff that you don't expect, you can't just force that stuff, and it's a really great experience when you experience that stuff. Funny note, though, most randomest thing happened at that bar. As I look up, I see there's a random woman who just flashes her tits at the bartender, and she got a free drink. So there was that. I mean, I didn't. It was a quick second. I wouldn't know, but clearly the bartender.
Eating crackers.
Clearly the bartender liked her boobs.
You thought it was good enough for a drink.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Okay.
Payment was rendered.
I also think like going to like a park or something like that, working out around parks. I think that's a great place to like meet people, and focus on yourself. So.
When you say focus on yourself, what it really means is focus on getting to a place where you love your life, you love your social life, your friends, your family, whoever you hang out with, and that includes yourself.
Right.
If you don't like your own company, you're not going to be very, very good company yourself.
If you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else.
Can't give away what you don't have for yourself.
Right. So how can you expect to find people and want to spend time with other people and share who you are if you're not comfortable with who you are with someone?
You gotta at least be, I feel that a lot of people don't always fully love themselves, but I think as long as you're trying your best to love yourself, you're working on it, or you feel decently at a point where you do like yourself to a certain extent or love yourself to a certain extent, I think that suffice. As long as you're working towards it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Everything should always be a work in progress.
Yeah.
I think you should always be working to do better and love yourself a little bit more day by day.
No, of course. Like, nobody's perfect at the end of the day. So as long... Yeah, exactly. So there's no definition for perfect.
Exactly.
As long as you're working on it, you know, there's no rush, there's no pressure. There's not, like, first of all, who are you trying to impress? No one. Because at the end of the day, this benefits yourself. So do the best you can. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Despite what anyone else tells you, just try your best. That will get you far.
And everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.